Hello, welcome again to another video on my channel. And today I want to talk about a story that is very old, very ancient. A lot of you guys may have heard of the story, and it is the tortoise and the hare. And I want to talk about it because I believe there's a very important message in this story pertaining to the way we are living our lives right now. Many of you may know this story, but I will just reiterate it again, just to say it again. So basically, the story is about a tortoise, which is a really big turtle, and a hare, which is a rabbit. And the hare is very concerned with speed. It's very concerned with glamour. It's very concerned with, you know, it's so cocky and it's like, yeah, I'm faster than you. You're so slow. Blah 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 blah. You suck. Da da da. I'm so cool. Da da. And his whole family's backing him up. And the tortoise is kind of just sitting back and not really phased by any of this. He's kind of sitting in his power. And the hare is also sitting in its power, but it is now in a combative stance with the tortoise. And so, because the hare is so pompous, so, in its ego, the tortoise is like, I challenge you to a race. And the hare's like, oh, really? You challenge me to a race? Wow, okay, whatever. So, they go on a race, and there's a finish line, there's the start, go, right? And the hare goes off into the race, and the hare is beating the tortoise by a light years ahead. He's so much faster than the tortoise, and the tortoise is taking its time until eventually the hare, in split, like a few minutes, gets right to the finish line, right close to the finish line. He's like, man, you know what? I'm gonna go take a nap. I'm so fast that I can actually take a nap right now and not even worry about the finish line. So he does. He actually goes to sleep, and the tortoise keeps on taking that step slowly but surely until the hare forgets to wake up and is in a deep slumber. And when finally the hare wakes up, realizes that the tortoise has actually won the race and the hare has lost. I just find it so fascinating how a very old story like that still has truth in it in today's world, still rings true at a vibratory essence of it. And just goes to show that nothing is ever really lost. Nothing is ever really new under the sun. We're all just remixes of the same source. In a race, in a societal race, who will win? Well, yeah, the hare wins because society wants to see what's the finish line, who's number one. But the tortoise is always left behind, is always like, oh, you're a loser, you're too slow. But at the end of the day, the hare dies first. And after living a life of, speed and glamour and fast lane, what's left is the tortoise, and the tortoise is just still there, still patient, still experiencing life. And at the end of the day, who really won was the tortoise in life, because the tortoise was all about dedication and all about patience and all about one step at a time. And it's not even that the tortoise won in a societal sense, right? What the tortoise won was he created his own award, which is fantastic. Um, and I just want to draw a parallel to society and how we live in a microwave society, in a fast food type society where we want everything now, instant gratification. You know, we're always searching for that next hit. We're always searching for the next party. We're always searching for the next person. We want our food now. We want the money now. We want the results now. And what we fail to see is that what liberates us, what liberates me, is to take one day at a time. See, I'm still here. I'm still living my life. Um, I know I haven't posted videos in a few days, but I don't have a schedule. I don't have a finish line. I just go at my own pace, and this is something that I'm working on still, because I'm not perfect. You know, I'm not saying that I've got the formula on how to do things, but the reason why I'm making this video is because you know, sometimes my brain is always telling me, like, Jeffrey, you should be doing something now. You should be making money somehow now. You should go to work, drive for Uber is my, and yeah, you know, it's logically speaking makes sense, because logically speaking, I do that. I get money. I can do things with the money. I'm getting closer to the finish line, and I can, you know, go to whatever I need to go and kind of flaunt and show off and stuff. But then there's another part of me that has a lot of resistance to that. And I have a lot of resistance to that. I guess it's because I'm an old soul. I guess it's because I know that I've been here for thousands and thousands of years. And you too are an old soul. Thing is just that in society we've fallen into the trap of instant gratification, you know, YOLO, which is not a bad thing, but we've fallen into the trap of thinking that this is the only life that we'll ever have, and everything needs to happen now. And if it doesn't happen the way we think, or the way society wants us to do it, then we're doing something wrong. And what this happens is that this creates, for me, what this happens is that this creates a gap between where I'm at and my bliss, my happiness, my sense of peace. It creates a gap because I'm like, no, wait, that's not the way society wants me to do it. That's not the way that they want me to do it. I have to do what they say. And more as I keep going forward, and I keep stretching and putting myself into a bigger gap of my bliss, and I'm falling into not being in my bliss. But the more I take more patience, the more I'm just like, wait a second, I don't have to prove anything to anyone. I don't have to prove to anyone that I am a miracle, that I'm here, that I am worthy of this life. And this video is to share with you my experience of my patience and how I'm cultivating this. I love holistic healing. I love different approaches and alternative approaches, because I know that there are other back roads to achieving the same thing. There's not just one formulaic way of getting to whatever it is that you need to get to. And for me, what has cultivated patience for me is to have crystals that promote that. I actually had a lapis lazuli that I lost, and I didn't lose it. It was time for it to leave because it taught me the lesson. But when the lapis lazuli entered into my life, and it wasn't even, it entered, my brother like gave it to me as a gift, and it entered into my life in the most perfect time. It was when I was experiencing a lot of anticipation and a lot of expectation of what it is that I want my life to be. And because expectation and anticipation are not real, they're just constructs of the mind, what you keep seeing is the reality, and you keep having restrictions and resistance to the reality. So you're like, this is not what I want, that's not what I want, this is not what I want. But the thing is that the reality is objective, it's not going to change. And the lapis lazuli entered into my magnetic field, and I felt this serene calmness. It was like this divine essence, this divine cellular feeling of just calmness, of presence, that can only be experienced. It's like me explaining it will not do it justice. It's just going to confuse it more. But it was really this patience of, wait a second, I am immortal, I am infinite. The body will leave one day, the body will have to check out of this world one day, but what lies is this consciousness that is immortal. And that made me realize how old I really am. And since a little kid, I've known this, that I am a very old soul. I've reincarnated as a human being thousands of times. I have visions of ancient Kemet. I have visions of even being a different life form, not even being a human being. And, you know, I like now to go skateboard and go to the Hudson River and just see the water move and see, you know, human beings can conceptualize and be like, the water's dirty, it's gonna kill us and everything. But what is really gonna kill, it's just us. We're just killing ourselves. We're just in our own poison. That water that we've poisoned is billions of years old. It's been here so long, and we're literally just not even doing a dent to it. It's like, okay, yeah, I've been here before. This is gonna affect you more than it's affecting me, is what the water, when I see it, tells me. And this is what being in the hare, being in the rabbit consciousness is, of being in this microwave state of wanting to, skip and bypass the steps of what you need to take in order to realize that there are actually no steps to take. The fact that you have even reincarnated here, the fact that you even have a body, speaks to the worthiness of you to be here. And we've just tricked ourselves into believing that people have to validate whatever it is that we have to do. No one out there has to validate our life at all. My life has already been validated by the consciousness, just because I'm here. The people that aren't validated are the people that aren't here. And even them, they're on their way of being validated. Not even, their consciousness is validated. And, if they come here as a human being, that's amazing. But the thing is that even if they come here as a pebble of a rock or as a pebble of a sand, is just as valid as a human life. It's just that the human species is in this egoic pyramid of thinking that we're above everything because we can conceptualize and intellectualize and all that, but we're stuck in the attic of our mind. We must realize that we aren't better than anyone else or anything. We're just as valuable. We're here to share. We're here to share. This reality that we live in is built on sharing. The trees share with us their oxygen, and then we share our carbon dioxide with them. And so this is this perfect harmony that's there. I feel like for so long I've been in the hare consciousness, in that rabbit consciousness of needing to get to a finish line, needing to, once I get to the finish line, now I can be validated, now I can show off and be like, hey guys, I'm number one. I did this, I did that. And just now, just recently, I've been starting to move into the tortoise consciousness, which is to realize that patience is a superpower, that everything happens at the perfect timing because there's is something bigger than us that is moving. We're not really in control of it. We're just in this world that is run by the law of attraction, that is run by, in other words of the law of attraction, is the law of magnetism. It's that you magnetize to you what you are. A good story that I have about the Hare consciousness in my life was, I remember when I was a kid, I I hated going to the barber shop. I hated cutting my hair. I hated having to pay someone else to touch my head to make me feel like I'm going to be accepted by having a haircut. And I remember telling my dad once, I was like, hey, Dad, can I have long hair this time? And he was like, yeah, you're going to have long hair tomorrow. And I was like, whoa, I'm going to have long hair tomorrow. Little did I know that where he was taking me was to the barber shop, and cut my hair off. So much so that I was emotionally beaten into this position where now I need to keep getting haircuts because society likes it when I look tame, when I look civilized. And this went on for 20 plus years for me. And just recently, about 3-4 years ago, was when I was working at this restaurant, and I started to stop cutting my hair because I used to go to barbershops, and then I realized I hated going to barbershops. So the only person I allowed to touch my hair was my brother. So we bought clippers and he cut my hair. And then eventually I graduated college. My brother wasn't around to give me haircuts. And then I was like, I actually went to a barbershop and they cut my hair, and the whole time was just such negative energy. It was just like they were like talking about stupid people. They were being so hard on my head, and they actually cut me, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, I'm paying you $15 for this? Like, this is ridiculous. I'm not paying you more. I'm not paying you to live in this place. So, and this is not to condemn anyone that does get haircuts, because everyone has their own journey, but this is my journey, my truth. What ended up happening was I started to grow my hair, and I started to twist my hair as of like little dreadlocks. And I remember everyone at my job was making fun of me, and they were like, your hair looks ugly. And I felt really hurt by it. But then I was like, this is a message. And the message was, you need to leave the job, because this job is not what freedom is. This is conformity. This is just conforming, and I need to leave. So what I ended up doing was I left, and I didn't cut my hair, and I actually booked an acting job and then got fired from that acting job, which further to me was like, that's also conformity. I thought that me booking an acting job was going to be in my freedom, but it actually was a parallel to the exact thing that I left. So when I left that, I was like, F it. I'm not going to cut my hair. I'm not going to let anyone touch my hair. The only person that I'm going to allow to touch my hair is these hands, and that's it. Because people cannot be trusted. And so ever since I stopped going to the barbershop, and yeah, people look, people, they say what they want to say. They have opinions of what they want to have. And through the process, I started learning that that's their problem. The fact that you have time to harbor these feelings speaks more about you than even your comments. And this is the first time I've ever had such long hair. I've never had long hair. And I remember when I was like 9 years old, I had a vision of myself skateboarding with super long hair as an adult. I was 9 years old. I had this vision. And I just remember it being me being so free, so, so free, just unconcerned with what people expect of me and what I expect of them. And this hair for me is me moving into the tortoise consciousness, which is I'm going to let go and let God. I'm going to let go and allow myself to be who I need to be. I'm not going to mess with it. I'm not going to, I mean, take care of it, of course. I'm not just going to, I do take care of my hair, but I am not going to allow another day in my life where I feel like I need to get a haircut so that other people can validate me. And ever since I've felt so free, so beautiful, I'm not afraid to feel that way. And I don't know, I've never felt so empowered. Because, a lot of people with my type of hair also like to get weave or get, relaxers and all this and trying to be someone they're not. And I even used to do that. I used to, when I was a little kid, used to relax my hair to have good hair. What is good hair? And yeah, moving into that in that way for me has liberated me from whatever it is that people expect of me. Also, in my journey of having a plant-based diet, I've taken a lot of wisdom from plants and trees. When you look at a huge tree out in the forest, that tree is pretty much 100 years old, if not more, if, who knows how long. And they look better than ever. They look like they're growing better than ever. The older they get, the better they are. And us, the human species, in our hare rabbit consciousness, it's like the older we get, the worse we are. And we hate the younger generation because subconsciously they're reminding us of how fresh we actually are and how far down the rabbit hole we've gone into thinking that there's a finish line, thinking that there is a thing that we need to attain. We are the thing that we are needing to attain. We are here. We are here. We've been validated already. The fact that we're here, we've been validated. We're here for the after party. And we're getting stuck thinking that there's something that needs to happen out there. And this is my truth. This is my truth. Nothing in this video is to intend to say that anything is fact or that this is how you should live your life or that, my way is right, your way is wrong. My message is, and this channel really, is to share my truth, is to share what's inside my heart and to share. And so I want to leave this video with, what consciousness are you in? Are you in the hare consciousness or in the tortoise consciousness? And how can you move into a consciousness that serves you? Because thing is too, the hare consciousness can serve you. It's not that material possessions are bad, but it's not the end all be all. And the real power lies in being able to live in both. It's to be able to entertain both and see which one helps you live your best life. This is Jeffrey Sanchez. I love you all. Have a great day. Peace.